fuck, who's not out?
Thank you for 2016 specifications to the 2017 season. Qualifying is crucial here, as the narrow layout is unforgivably difficult for even the best overtakers to find a way past. Albert Park has the distinction of being the only venue to host the Australian Grand Prix in both World Championship and non-World Championship formats, with an earlier configuration of the current circuit used for the race on two occasions during the 1950s. During this time, racing was conducted in an anti-clockwise direction as opposed to the current circuit, which runs clockwise. As versatile then as it is challenging. Welcome to our special guest, Jesse Porter. New safety measures have been introduced since the start of the 2018 season. Drivers are now required to wear gloves containing biometric sensors which will monitor vital signs, allowing safety teams to better articulation in the event of an accident. Welcome to the streets of Melbourne here at Albert Park. I'm still room for reflection in Formula 1 action. Hamilton will be looking to secure yet another championship this season, continuing his dominance of the V6 era. The weather in Melbourne
Hi, Kenzie, how's it?
Ah, there we go. That's me in now.
Yeah, the guy that opened the lobby didn't realize you're going to co-commentate with me, so he accidentally kicked you. But we had to start the whole session over because he did something wrong on the settings. But yeah, the stream is on now, and I'm just waiting for them to start up again and ready up.
That's fine.
Oh, thanks for joining me tonight.
Yeah, I say I'm normally busy on a Thursday night with commitments elsewhere, but it turned out that just a couple of days ago I found out that I now have tonight free.
Oh, that's good for us, and we are glad to have you on, yeah. And,
Yeah, great.
yeah.
I say great to be on board. Yeah, I mean, because like I was saying to Gary earlier, if there's a Thursday where I can make it, I'll be sure to drop you guys a message so that I can get on board with the commentary.
Yeah, that will be fantastic. I will definitely appreciate that. Yeah, it looks like they're busy setting up the lobby again. We still got a couple of guys that still needs to join. We were
That's
going
fine.
to be a full house of drivers, but unfortunately, I think it's two guys that couldn't make it, and the third guy, his electricity went off, so he's stuck without electricity at home.
But I think you do. I think you do tend to find that you don't normally get a full house for for online races anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that at least that we're going to drop around 5 or 6 guys. So I'm very surprised that it's only 3 guys not making it tonight.
Yeah, but judging by the size of the lobby right now, we've got 14 drivers, so definitely looks like all is well.
Yep, it's going to be an interesting race. These guys have been practicing for almost 2 weeks non-stop on this track just to to get their times right.
Yeah, and in Gary's case, it'll be good practice for him when it comes to the Talk Racing League, which I'm one of the commentators for on Saturday.
I heard he said that you guys have 100% races on Saturday nights.
Yeah, full qualifying and full race.
Yep, that is a hectic session, I think. On a Saturday night.
Yeah. And that's where me and my co-commentator are gonna be doing. We're gonna be doing interviews over the next couple of days before the session actually gets underway itself.
Okay.
So that way, with the interviews that we do, it gives us something to talk about when there's not really much going on.
Oh, that's actually a good idea. I don't think we've thought about that before. So yeah, no, I'll definitely maybe look into something like that. I think that's a great idea. Tell me, your first race, is it this Saturday, or have you guys done a couple of races before?
It's this coming Saturday, the opening race of the season.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. Hopefully I can watch it on Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be on the Facebook page. It's the Talk, as in TORQUE, Talk of the Devil Racing League. That's
okay. And you're gonna stream it straight to Facebook then?
It'll be streaming straight to the Facebook group.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I didn't even know you can stream straight through to Facebook.
Well,
it shows you how new I am to this.
Yeah. Well, with the system I've got set up, I've got OBS, which is what I normally use for a lot of my YouTube work, and
yes.
From there I just stream it straight to the Facebook page once it's all up and running.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Yeah, I didn't even know you can do that, because I'm also running OBS. I'm running the Streamlabs OBS version. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I know you can log in with a couple of different streaming services like YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer, but I haven't gone into much detail with that to see what
Yeah.
is available and what not.
Well,
I think the yeah.
well, also what I was going to say is with the fact that I've been doing YouTube for a number of years now, so I've pretty much got a lot of the basics down as far as streaming, recording, editing, uploading is concerned.
Okay. I see now the guys are messaging each other to say there's two guys having connection issues, and that's why we taking.
That's
a
why
bit of
there's a
time
slight
to
delay.
get the- yes. And I said they said now 2 minutes, and then they will be starting, so that's good. I hate it when stuff is delayed. I want to get this over and done with.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, with it being the first race of the season, you do expect a couple of technical issues.
Yeah. I thought so in the beginning as well. Okay, let's see. We've got another guy joined in now. So that is 15 drivers.
Excellent.
That is good. I see they still keep on sending invites. There's one guy having an issue. It says he keeps on failing to join.
Not ideal.
It's also normally one of the things that happens with these type of lobbies. You get one guy that always will have issues connecting. I'm nervous for these guys' sake. That I can say as much. I think the first corner is going to be very interesting.
Well, if the 2002 race was anything to go by, yeah, definitely.
Well, Australia have seen more than just one unique race. I think there's been 2 accidents where guys have been flying over each other. So
Martin Brundle 96, Fernando Alonso 20 years later.
and then there was the Ralph Schumacher and Barrichello incident.
I'd say that's the
well.
one back in 2002.
Oh, was that the one in 2002? Okay.
Yeah, that was the one.
You've got your dates good. Eh?
Well, given the fact I've been watching Formula One for 20 plus years now,
Holy crap! That's a long
I'm pretty
time.
much encyclopedic knowledge on Formula One.
I've been watching Formula One a while, but you're
which is what I'm going to need. Yeah, I'm going to need that. I'm going to need that knowledge when it comes to doing the race intros for the league.
Yeah, that's actually a good thing. And then this will also give you a type of setup of what's going to happen with you guys' first race on Saturday night.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I definitely want to see how, and I think Gary is taking part in that. So I'm definitely going to have to see how he does in it. Okay, it looks like we've got 17 drivers now. Everyone is readying up. Yeah, it's just the 3 guys that's missing. Okay, for the guys on the stream, you've got the poster on now of the lobby. And then right now it's just the guys in which teams they are going to be racing in. Just to touch a couple of names here. Gary is in the Haas. Whistler's is in the the Pink Force India. We've got Winterslova, that's in the Alpha. Albert's 15, he's in the Ferrari. And then we've got Piers Nias in the Toro Rosso. One of the guys that we're actually missing is Libis. He would have been in the Renault.
Right.
But yeah, that's just a couple of the guys that I know, and there was 2 guys that joined this week only, and they were unfortunately stuck with the Sauber. Oh, not the Sauber, the Williams. That is Bearded Lama and Reddish Uli. So they were the unfortunate ones getting the Williams. I think it's the car that no one wanted to take.
Yeah.
Okay. It seems that we are ready to go. These guys are in the qualifying. I see it's 20 minutes qualifying, and let's see who's going to be the first one to bite.
Yep.
This is going to be the waiting game now.
Who's gonna make the first move?
That's going to be the interesting one.
Yeah.
And it's one of the Ferraris actually going out, and it looks like the Renault.
Yeah.
The Renault.
Kill switch and Albert, by the looks of it.
Yes, I also got it like that on the outlap. Oh, just behind each other. This is a tight one going into the first corner.
We've got McLaren Freak coming out as well.
Okay. And he is followed by. I see. Darkwing Owl is out.
We've got Darkwing Owl for Red Bull.
McLaren Freak is also out.
Yep. Yeah, but as I've noticed, he spelt the McLaren with MAC, interestingly.
I think the other one was taken already. I'll have to chat with him and then find out where the spelling came from. Maybe there's some background story on that I don't know about.
I believe there's a pushchair brand that goes by the name of McLaren. That's MAC.
Okay, well, that will be interesting to know. So I'll definitely try and find out from him. Hi Marco, thanks for joining us on the stream.
Yep. So yeah, here we go. First, it's the first league race, or first race of the South African League.
Yeah, the
tonight.
Online Racing League South Africa, ORLSA.
To
And
give
I
it its
see
full
we've
name,
got a
yes.
yellow flag. I think we
flag?
just had a yellow flag.
I think that might have been somebody going off somewhere.
Yeah, maybe just making space for someone to pass them. I see Multiput Chief, he was on the grass.
Yeah, he was letting somebody through. Interestingly, he's on the soft tyre compound. Interestingly, he's the only
I see
one,
we've got different. Yeah.
So we've got all 3 tyre compounds being used here right now, and Kill Switch is already out of the session. Kill Switch is already out. My
and
goodness
I've
me.
got no idea what happened with him.
But I believe it happened between sectors 1 and 2.
Yeah, we had a yellow flags in those 2 sectors. I'm not too sure what happened there.
I think that's where he went off. I think that's where he went off. That is unfortunate.
I see Gary also went off the track now. He managed to join back safely again. Well, that will be unfortunate for Kill Switch.
He's going to have to settle for essentially back of the grid.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. So we've got Albert Albert with the first time of the day, 1:22.619.
And then we've got Darkwing Owl with a 1:24.535.
McLaren Freak,
McLaren
1:24.813.
I'm currently spectating on Gary. I think he is, well, he's not on a fast lap because he's not even at the last turn yet. He's already 1 minute 30 seconds.
I think he was just getting himself warmed up for the lap. Here he goes. Now he's going to start to come down. Now he's going to start his flying lap. And
trying to break as late as possible.
Yeah, and Top Willem just got the fastest lap of the session so far, 1:22.532.
And it's very close with the two on top, but it's 0.1 of a second.
And not just that, Willem on the super soft tyres, which is the medium tyre compound for the weekend.
That's also
and Danda! Danda's gone as well. Oh,
we've got two guys. We've got two guys.
Three!
PS Nias and Raiku's son is out. Holy crap, so we've got
me. Sauber, Toro Rosso and Red Bull.
And this is only the qualifying. What is going to happen in the race?
I can only imagine it's going to be absolute carnage.
This is going to be fantastic. So the question now is, was it someone at fault or... Because I just saw the aftermath of what happened there.
I think what happened was there might have been a slight bit of contact, one of them losing control and then straight into the wall.
And it is, well, I can see one of the guys just went out of the way of Albert's lap, and that's very good sportsmanship from them.
Gary had to try, and what? That's another guy gone! Nance is out as well.
Holy crap, at least he put up a lap, but it's still...
Tamo Curve, are you kidding? Everyone's dropping like flies now.
I don't know who to spectate on. Who's going to be the next one?
This is unbelievable. And like you said, this is only qualifying.
And I've done a couple of laps on this track, and it's not an easy track. It's just unbelievable what's happening now. And we've got another yellow flag on sector 3.
And we've got Chief going third, amazingly, on the soft tyres, which are the hardest compound for the weekend.
And he's only 0.1 of a second off the guys.
Well, you've got... I mean, top four are separated by just under 0.2 of a second.
And it's two different types of tyres being used. Well, you're talking about the top three. It's the top four that's separated.
Yeah, top four with 3 different compounds.
Yeah.
So Gary doesn't quite improve on this. Gary doesn't quite improve his lap on this occasion, but still, he's 4th place at the moment. So we go. The yellow flags are out because Gary started to slow down. I think he's happy with how he's done so far.
He might have pushed it all, and he might have ran out of a bit of petrol there.
More than likely the case.
Okay, we've got Reddy Shuli going for a fast lap now. This is going to be his first lap.
Yep. He's on the fastest tyre compound, which should give him an advantage.
Yes.
So this is one of only a handful of circuits on the calendar that has 3 DRS zones. One down the main straight, one past turn.
The second
2.
corner. Yes.
One past turn 2. Yes, and then approaching. And then it's just the start of the 3rd sector between turns 12 and 13, I believe.
Yes, I have to say, when I started playing this game, that the one DRS zone going into this 3rd sector actually caught me out by surprise. I didn't expect it to be there. And if you don't know where third sector is, it's where Reddish fully just
So
went through
there
now.
it is. There it is in action. There it is in action, thanks to Reddish.
Oh, and we
And he's
have
been
someone
blocked.
holding
Oh,
him
he's
up.
been blocked. That's play. Oh, that's gonna cause a
But now the
issues for his
question
lap.
is, who was that?
Is that
think that
gonna
was
result
F.
in a? I think it was
I
a
didn't
Haas. That might have been Gary. That might have been Gary that caused the block.
It was Gary that caused the block there.
And
I
as a
think
result,
the
because of that
stewards-
block, Reddish only 11th because of that block. He's going to go for another
Yeah.
lap.
Hopefully he's got the
Personally,
petrol. And as I suspected, Gary did go without petrol. I see his light is on. And I think that would definitely be a steward's inquiry into him blocking another driver on a hot lap.
Yeah, there's no doubt there's going to be a couple of inquiries to the stewards for that. But we'll just wait and see what happens.
McLaren was on the Bearded Llama was on the grass now in the first sector.
Yeah, well,
Darkwing Owl also wide.
Oh, hello. So he went wide there. So I'm still with Reddish. He's a couple of tenths quicker on this occasion on the lap.
Oh, I see
And,
0.2 faster.
Winterish, how's about that? 1:21.603, nearly a second faster than Willem.
Yo, that is an absolute fantastic lap for him. Yeah, that's all.
And then
That's
the Sauber
0.9
as
of
well.
a second faster.
So like I say, just under a second. But this is much quicker from Reddish. Coming down the straight, across the line. How big is it going to be an improvement? A 1.5 second improvement. He doesn't improve his position, but it is a big improvement as far as his time is concerned. Only
Yes.
3/10 shy of the top 10.
Yes. Oh, that's going to be very close. I think the top guys. I think if multiple Sheaf comes out now with the ultras, he might go up into the top 3 because he did his fast lap on the softs, which is the harder of the tires.
Yeah, and Jay Potty, as we say, that just set a lap 1:23.756, puts him 7th at the moment in the McLaren. So the order as it stands, with just over 5 minutes to go, we've got Winterish leading, Willem 2nd, Albert's 3rd, Chief 4th, Gary 5th, Whistler 6th, Potty 7th, Lama 8th, Nats 9th, who's not taken any further part in the session, Darkwing Owl 10th, McLaren Freak 11th, Reddish 12th, Dandadu 13th, then Tamer Curve, Killswitch, and we've got Killswitch, Heus Neos, and Reikusan. Those 15th, 16th, and 17th, they didn't set a lap time.
Yeah, I think the guy that will be, well, he won't be happy that he didn't finish qualifying session, but for him to still be 9th, Nats, I think he'll be happy with ending up 9th, even being taken out there.
But I mean, with the way the times are right now, the worst he can do is start 12th. That's the worst he can do if Darkwing,
Yes.
McLaren Freak, and Reddish all improve their times. That's it.
Well, there's still 5 minutes
that's
left.
The only saving. So that's the saving grace for him. The worst he'll start is 12th if Darkwing, McLaren, and Reddish all improve on their times. We've got Gary going out on another flying lap. Sticks with the Ultra Softs. And of course, with this being the short qualifying session, the tyres you set your fastest lap on are the tyres that you're going to start the race on.
Yes, so I think it might be a bit of a strategy. I see Winterslova is on the super softs now, so I think Whistler might end up starting with the soft. I think it might be just a tactic from him.
Yeah, if he starts on the soft, if he starts on the soft tyre compound, which is the hardest of the compounds this weekend, if he starts on that tyre compound, he may be able to get away with a one stop.
Yeah, this is a 50% race, so I think guys that's going to start on the super soft might be able to get away with a one stopper. It depends on how
It depends
how
on
bad
how they manage
they
their
wear.
tyres.
Yes.
and Gary is improving. He's 10th and a half up at the moment in the first sector.
Yeah, that's good for him. Let's see what he does.
A strong performance for him today will definitely give him a big momentum boost ahead of the
this
Devil
weekend.
Racing League. Yeah, exactly. And he's managed to shave another half second off the time.
Okay,
Maybe
that's
if
good.
He's quick enough, be able to. If he's quick, and he manages to keep it clean throughout this final sequence of corners, he may be in contention of potentially taking pole position.
Yeah, let's see what he can do.
Because he's run out of ERS for this lap, but I don't think he's overly concerned about that.
Heading into the DRS zone.
Bit of a twitch onto the main straight. He crosses the line and he goes second. 1:21.864. 2 tenths shy of
I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be disappointed by losing almost 0.2 of a second in the last sector.
But I think he's not resting on his laurels, and he's definitely going to have another crack at it.
It does look like it. Let's see what he does in the first sector.
And he's still faster up still. He's still faster. This is incredible.
Let's see what he can do in the second sector. Keep it up. Oh, he touches the grass.
That might undo all the work he's done so far, but he is a man on a mission at this point.
Definitely is. Let's see. Oh,
he's still
he's
still 0.008 up.
He might have lost.
And he's back on the grass. I think he may have just lost all the time that he
And
had.
if that's the case, I don't think he'll be able to make it back to pit and put up another lap.
It's going to be touch and go. They are going to need to. It's going to need to be a pit stop essentially, but it doesn't look likely at this point.
It doesn't look like he'll be able to do it. It seems that Winterslova is also not going to come out for another lap.
I think he's more than happy with how he's done.
Okay, we've got Albert is out on track. I think he's the only one that's going to be able to improve.
But you've got Chief to take into account as well.
I just wanted to say the same thing. He's also very fast.
Here we go, Albert across the line, and he improves his time, but not his position. But he's got.
I think he's going to go for another lap.
He's got time to do one more lap.
Let's see what happens. He's coming towards the end of the first sector. Oh, a bit wide, but he might have kept his speed there.
And he's lost a bit of time. He's lost a bit of time.
But it's a small fraction of the time. And I think he's
Chief,
down.
as I say that, has just gone fastest 1:21.530. And I said Chief would be in contention, and as I say that, he is on pole position for the time being.
And the guys that's still in the pit, Winterslova, Gary and Top Willem, it looks like they are going to be out. They won't be able to do another lap. I just want to see. Okay, I think Albert's is done.
Albert's slowing down. He's decided to bail on
McLaren
the lap.
Freak
and after seeing
also...
Chief's time, I don't blame him. And McLaren Freak is spectacularly out of fuel. He's not going to be in contention for pole. But Darkwing Owl, my goodness me, he's on a flyer. But he's 4 seconds down at the moment.
I don't think he'll be able to make up 5 seconds in one sector though.
You never know.
Well, this is Formula 1.
Yeah, we've got Reddish now. He's a tenth quicker. Heading into the final sector, he may be able to improve his position.
Well, he needs a second if he wants to move
It's
from
a
12
tall
to
ask
11.
at this point. It is a very tall ask at this point. We'll wait and see what happens. Comes down the straight,
over the line,
and he improves.
He improved, but he stays.
12.
Okay, Darkwing Owl's also coming to the pit. I I don't think anyone else is out on track.
I mean, Chief with an absolute flyer of a lap at the end takes pole position.
No, that is a fantastic lap.
Yeah, it's only just under a tenth quicker than Winterish, but pole position, still pole position at the end of the day.
That's correct. That's so true. And Albert is without petrol heading into to the pits now.
Yeah.
And why is he going for the line? Spectacular. Oh. Well, that was a very interesting qualifying session. I mean, if
Absolutely.
the qualifying session was so intense, I can just imagine what the race is going to be like. This is going to be fantastic. Well, just to run through it again, it's Chief in first, Winterish in second, and then Gary in third, Top Willem in fourth, Albert in fifth, Bearded Lama in sixth, McLaren Freak seventh, Whistler in eighth. I see Whistler did change his tyre and he went to the super softs.
Yeah. Darkwing ninth, and J Potty rounding up the top 10.
This is going to be an interesting race. I wonder what's going to happen with the guys that crashed out.
Yeah.
I see there's a couple of guys that's apologizing for crashing out already on the group.
Yeah, but and while we're waiting for everyone to ready up in the lobby, I'll give you some facts about the circuit and the country itself. Australia has 3 times as many sheep as people, and despite it being a large country, 90% of the population actually live on the coast, and Ayers Rock is also the largest monolith in the world. And some facts about the circuit now, approximately 290,000 man-hours to assemble the circuit every year. Michael Schumacher, the most successful on the circuit, with 4 wins to his name. And it's lights out and away we go, and we've already got a crash. Oh,
no, I think
stalls.
This is
all falling apart here. Oh, it's
this
the
is
formation lap.
only the formation lap. You almost got Oh, we've got Gary disqualified.
Mats, Dandadu and Gary disqualified from the formation lap already.
And Nats.
And Riku, 4 drivers disqualified from the session, and that's just the formation lap. The question now is, will they be allowed to start the race though? Will they still be allowed to start the race?
I'm just trying to find out if the guys are going to restart for this session. I'm just not sure how the restart's going to work with the qualifying.
Because I've never seen that happen in an online session before. I've never seen that happen with a multiplayer session before.
The thing is, I don't think the guys knew that there is a formation lap.
That we would be starting with a formation lap, yeah.
And I think that has caught a couple of guys out. I'm just...
Yeah. But anyway, while they're getting around on their formation lap, Michael Schumacher, most successful on the circuit in the circuit history with 4 wins. 2000, 2001, 2002, then 2004. And for the 2012 race, which was the first race of the season that year, 6 world champions on the grid for the 2012 season. And Darkwing Owl disqualified. Now Whistler as well.
That is absolutely strange.
This is just the formation lap.
I don't know what to say. This is so strange. This is completely it's bonkers. What is happening?
That's one way of putting it. I say, well, the drivers that were disqualified, they are allowed to go onto the grid. They are allowed to start the race. Amazingly.
Okay, that's good news.
Yeah. So the circuit's 5.3 kilometers long, 16 corners and 3 DRS zones. The action zones to look out for: turn 1 with that start in 2002, and turn 3 with 1996 and 2016. But nevertheless, here we go. 5 lights, and away we go! Great start there from Willem.
That's a better start from everyone. Let's see, it looks clean into the first corner.
Chief maintaining his lead. Yellow flags already. Like
in sector 1.
And Gary had a terrible start. And Tamer and Gary.
Tamer's already out.
Unbelievable. What happened there? Oh, they crashed.
And Darkwing Owl
out of
also
turn 2.
crashed. I have
Darkwing
absolutely...
Owl. He's trying to get back into the race.
He doesn't have a front wing.
He is definitely going to need to replace that front wing, no doubt. But Tamer and Gary already out, and only on the second corner. How's about that?
That is absolutely fantastic. The thing is, I didn't see and I think
Gary,
that is Darkwing. Unfortunately, he can't get any turn on that car. He needs to get to the pits to put up a new wing.
He's got to get to the pits. Oh my
and he's struggling to keep it going. But the problem that I've got here is I don't understand what happened with Gary, because he was third on the grid and Tamer Kurth was 14th on the grid. So Gary either had a terrible
Gary
start.
Must have had a bad start. And Darkwing Owl, as I say that, Darkwing Owl
He's out
is
of the race
now.
Okay, the leaders is coming through the first corners again.
First lap, and already we've had 3 DNFs. Kill Switch has had to come in already.
We've got
the Toro Rossos
Kill
have had
Switch,
to come in
Pierce
as well.
And Nats.
They've had to change his front wing. They've had to change his front wing.
Oh, the Toro Rosso is holding up Kill Switch. Oh my word, what is happening?
The Toro Rossos are having to change their front wings as well. It's all falling apart for the Toro Rossos and Kill Switch.
Oh.
My goodness me.
Oh, Kill Switch lost a lot of time just by sitting and waiting for the 2 Toro Rossos. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's him down in 13th now. I mean, the biggest winner out of the start was Reiku, who started 17th and is now all the way up into 7th place.
Into 7th, yes.
That is absolutely brilliant. I mean, I'm amazed
fantastic.
he managed to avoid all that first corner carnage.
Especially with Gary going backwards at the start.
Yeah, I think from that it looks like he had a very bad start.
And
Winterish up. We've got Chief and Winterish up front. About 3/10 separation. And Piers Nails! Another non-finisher. My goodness me.
Oh, I've got unfortunately no idea what happened with him.
And he hit the wall. Another
unbelievable. Okay, the 2 leaders is having a go at each other.
Yeah, I said Winterish. I would say Winterish has DRS. DRS doesn't get enabled until the 3rd lap, but he's not close enough to make the overtake on this occasion.
And yeah, not yet. And they have put up a gap between them and Top Willem.
Yeah. And they've got both drivers on the super softs.
Yeah, so no tyre advantage for one or towards the other.
It's going to be down to driver skill at the end of the day for this first stint. And of course, depending on how well they manage their tyres, they may be able to get away with putting the Ultra Softs on for their stop, or they might play safe and go for a 2-stopper.
That is one option that they have. But it's still unfortunate to see 4 guys taken
4
out
guys
of the
out
race.
within the first 2 or 3 laps.
Well, not even the first 3 laps. It was in the first lap alone. Pearson was
Yeah.
the unlucky one that did only a couple of laps. But it came out now that Darkwing was the one responsible for taking out Gary.
Ah. Very interesting development there.
I'd like to see some footage of that. So hopefully the guys that take some recordings.
Yeah, I'm
And,
sure we'll be able to review the footage at some point. I mean, Winter is starting to back off. He's turned his ERS down.
Now that might just be a tactic from him just to save up tires.
And in the long run, it could certainly pay off for him.
Especially if he can make the tires work for him for a one-stopper. That will definitely be good for him.
Yeah. Because with this season, there's a lot more to focus on as far as car management is concerned. You only get 3 engine units for the entire season, which means with it being a 21 race calendar, you've got to make the engines last essentially 7 races.
That is going to be a hectic one.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm looking at Top Willem now. He's driving on his own. He's got a gap to the guys in front of him, and he's also got a 4-second gap to the guy behind him, which is McLaren Freak. And then behind him, 7 seconds behind McLaren Freak, we've got Albert. And Albert has got Raikkonen and Jay Potty not too far behind him. It looks like Raikkonen's catching.
Yeah, Raikkonen's less than a second behind Albert. He may just be able. He's got DRS. He's going to have DRS heading into the next corner.
Yes, but I think he's still too far away to actually make it count.
He's not going to be close enough on this occasion. But if he can keep within that 1 second window, he may have a chance potentially down the main straight.
Main straight, and also after the second corner, there's another
Absolutely.
opportunity.
See, there he goes. He's going to have the DRS heading into the main straight.
Now let's see what he does. It seems that Alberts has gone low wing setting, so it seems that he keeps the gap up in the straights.
So he's going for a low downforce setup. That's a
Yes.
pretty interesting move for him. That's a very interesting move, going for the low downforce setting. And like you say, it does pay dividend. It does give him the advantage on the straights, which means Raikkonen's going to need to make up all the time, essentially in the corners.
And I can see he's definitely making up the time in the corners, but as soon as they hit the DRS zone, the Ferrari can stick with him on top end. So that's going to be a very difficult afternoon for Raikkonen to get past Albert.
Yeah, and what makes it even more difficult is the fact that Alberts is on the ultra soft tyres, which are the faster compound compared to Raikkonen, who's on the super softs.
That's also another thing that I didn't even take in consideration. Well, if Raikkonen can just wait it out around lap 11 or 12, Albert is going to have to go into the pits. So maybe if I was Raikkonen, I was just saving a bit of tyre and see if you can maybe do a strategy swap to only one stop or something like that.
Yeah, but I say Raikkonen just got a time penalty. And Killswitch got a time penalty as well. No doubt for the corner cutting infringement. And I mean, look how close Raikkonen is to Alberts now. He's about half a second.
You can definitely see that Alberts is struggling down in the corners.
Yeah, because he's starting to struggle now.
And I think it might have not have been a good idea to go on a low downforce setting. And you can even see that by looking at his back wing. you can definitely see it is on a lower downforce setting than the Red Bull.
Yeah. So and while that's happening, further down the field, we've got Whistler and Lama battling it out for 8th place. Whistler is close enough to use the DRS. Oh, he has a little twitch into the corner, but enables the DRS. He may be able to go for it. He's going to try the outside line.
I think he's
get it on this occasion. Oh, they almost touch. They almost touch. He's right on the.
That is so close.
And Alberts has just come into the pits.
I see he's gone into the pits, and I think Whistler is going to go through on the first corner. He's got the top speed. Let's see what he does.
He's turned everything up. He's going to go for
on
it
the inside.
And they almost touch again. Oh, they made contact.
Bearded Lama lost
contact.
it. They did make contact. You are right, because Whistler is slowing down for Lama to take his position again. That is very good racing from him. But this is good.
So good. Quite rightly so. I mean, you could say that he did manage to make the overtake cleanly, but he would have no doubt had a message through from the team to say, let him through, you made contact, it wasn't a clean overtake.
Yeah, that might have happened. But during that now, Albert came out just behind them. Whistler with a 2-second penalty, and I think
he just got past. Indeed, he has. He has got past. Whistler now into 7th place.
Is this Bearded Lama having a bit of issues with his tires? Because he is slowing down. He backed off from Whistler.
He is on the ultra-soft tyres, so he is going to need to make a stop at some point within the next lap or two at least.
I think his tyres is gone. He is struggling to keep up with Whistler.
Yeah, because you've got Alberts right on his tail.
He is going to have to make a pit now. Alberts is definitely losing a lot of time now behind. Okay, and there, Bearded Lama just went into the pits now.
Yeah.
Well, Albert's put on the soft tyre, so he's thinking of maybe going for a one-stopper.
He's planning on going all the way to the end, I think, and Bearded Lama is going for the same option. He's going to go all the way to the end of the race now, as well.
Now that is a good option from them. Seeing Bearded Lama coming out in 12th position now, behind Kill Switch. I think Kill Switch is a man on charge now, due to his pit stop. But, well, the guys put it the first lap, they will definitely have to pit again.
Yeah. I say it's interesting. Everyone down to 7th hasn't actually made a stop yet. And you've got Reddish and Dandadu, who also haven't made a stop either.
Yeah, you're right. Dandadu didn't do a pit, and also Reddish also didn't do a pit. And I see that's all the guys that started on the super soft tyres.
Yeah, well, so they've obviously done a very good job of managing their tyres up to this point.
Well, I'm sure they will be looking at going up to lap 16 perhaps.
And that way they could maybe get away with going on to the ultra softs, which should hopefully see them through to the end of the race.
It looks like Top Willem is actually catching the two leaders. At one stage he was 4 seconds behind them. He's only 2.5 seconds behind them now.
Yeah, and
you can definitely see them on the straights now.
And Nat's letting the front runners out of the way. He's just been lapped.
That's Nats, yes. That's a good move from him to just get out of the way. Don't want to hold up any of the leaders.
Yeah. But Winterish still managing to maintain a gap of less than a second between him and Chief. And as I say that, he's actually coming into the pits. He's actually coming in now, which means
Reddish
Chief
is got a penalty now, 3 seconds.
Oh, Winterish, a 5-second stop-go penalty for Winterish for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh, that's not something that we would have liked to see now.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to
And
hand the race.
And he's had to change his
Chief.
front wing as well. He's had to change his front wing as well.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Now, if Winterish doesn't come in to take the 5-second penalty, that 5 seconds will be added on to his time at the end of the race.
Now, that could be very interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, how's about this? Raikou-san, who started 17th, didn't set a lap in qualifying, is on the back of McLaren Freak and is currently 4th.
I think McLaren Freak is struggling on his tyres.
I think everyone's pretty much going to be on the same boat at this point. And Raikou, as I say
Raikou
that,
just went past.
Raikou just got into 3rd place. Absolutely brilliant. And Nats is the... And
Nats has hit the
Left
wall.
front wheel completely. Nats lost his front left wheel completely.
He lost it on the exit of the chicane. And he hit the wall.
And the chicane is a very easy place to lose control of the car.
Very easy to lose control there.
And as a result of Top Willem, as a result of him making his stop, Raikou-san is in 2nd place after starting 17th, not setting a lap in qualifying.
That is interesting. But he still needs to do his pit, so that might
He
be...
still needs to, absolutely. He still needs to make the pit stop. But the question is Chief going to make the stop first, or is Raikou going to make the stop first? Because this could be very interesting, because we could potentially see Raikou and Chief potentially battling it out for the lead, however short it may be.
Yes. Well, with 19 seconds, I think the pit is around 21 seconds. So I think Raikou might be coming, or might be in the lead when Chief goes to pit.
So he's just going to try and keep that gap. Essentially, he's going to try and keep that gap as low as possible.
It looks like most of the guys have pitted now. It's only Uli that hasn't pitted. The kill switch did pit. Raikou and McLaren Freak. Well, Chief is actually in the pit. He's exiting the pit now. And as I suspected, he came out just behind.
Wow, how's about that?
Raikou. Raikou coming from 17th, and he's currently leading the race. I think nobody
would have seen that happen.
Not in a long shot, never. Well, we've got McLaren Freak on the back of Chief here, but McLaren Freak should go to the pit soon.
McLaren Freak down to 4th, Winterish back up into 3rd now. Reddish making his stop.
It seems that most of the guys have done their pit stops. It's just McLaren Freak, I believe, still needs to pit.
Raikou, McLaren and Potty are the only drivers yet to make a stop.
That is correct, yes. Oh, I actually forgot I can see that in the spectator menu.
I'm using that a lot. I've been using that a lot. I'm just using that to keep an eye on what's happening in stops, the position changes, what tyres they're on.
Well, currently we've got Winter Sloba with the fastest lap, 1 minute 24.6, and the closest behind him is
so far.
Yep, and then the closest to him is 1 second down, and that is.
And virtual safety cars out. Reddish is the latest car. He's the latest man to retire from the race. Saving grace for Raikou. He's only lost 3 positions. That is unbelievable.
He is in.
He's 4th right now because of the virtual safety car.
He got lucky.
That
got
is
so lucky.
brilliant.
Luck
Absolutely
at its
brilliant.
best.
And there we
And
go.
McLaren Freak still needs to pit. No, he also pitted. McLaren Freak
Everyone's made
stayed
their
in
stop
fast.
now. Everyone's made
That
their
is.
stop now. And that means for some drivers now, it's going to be all the way to the finish now.
Oh!
So Raikou is... And Chase out! Chase is
out!
out!
What happened with him there? He lost it on the exit of the chicane.
It was the chicane indeed. Unbelievable.
This puts Raikou in third.
I mean, just look at that. The right front wheel is gone completely.
Can you believe that? We've seen some interesting crashes right now.
And a lot of them have happened on that chicane. And like I said
Yes.
earlier, it's a very easy place to lose control of the car.
My word, I cannot believe what I'm looking at here. So we've got Winterslova in the lead with Top Willem behind them. And
Raikou
Raikou
in third.
starting from 17th on the grid. This is fantastic stuff.
I mean, I was anticipating him coming out at least 7th after his stop, but the virtual safety car said otherwise.
This is incredible scenes here. I cannot believe what I'm looking at. But yeah, right,
I
he's
don't
going
want-
to need to work for his podium because he's got McLaren Freak gunning down on him, and not too far behind
Albert's
them
as well.
is Albert.
But while that's happening, we've got Whistler hunting Jay Potty down.
Oh, and
Is he going to get him on
right
this
behind
corner?
him.
No, he's not.
Let's see
And
what's
Winterish
happening
just
here.
set the fastest lap of the race, 1:24.599. And he goes for
And
the move.
Whistler.
Is he going to make his thing? No, he's
why
not.
did he pull out
Oh, he's lucky he didn't. He's lucky he didn't cause an incident there.
there? That was very interesting seeing him pull out of the move there.
I mean,
but he's back
he
on.
had the opportunity to go for it, but he decided to bail out. Why would he do that?
I think it has to do with the first race of the season. He doesn't have the confidence in the car as yet. I'm sure as the season progresses, he'll definitely do more bold moves. He does have DRS on the
He's
straight,
got the
but
DRS,
it seems
but he's not gonna go for it on this corner. He may get it into turn 3.
it looks like he's a bit better out of the corner, out of corner 2.
He's got
Let's
it,
see what he does. Oh,
but
Braking
again, he
too
decides
early.
he decides it's a no-go, and they almost touch.
that was very close. Let's see what happens.
Jay Potty going a little wide.
Okay, this is the reason why Whistler is so much faster. Is Whistler is on the super soft tire and Potty is on the soft tire. So Potty is
The
on
regular
the harder
soft.
set.
That makes sense.
Now the question is, will Whistler be able to let those tires hold out?
All the way to the end.
Well,
it's
he's
anyone's
only
guess at
done
this
4
point.
laps. So he just needs to do another 12 laps. So I'm sure he should be able to do 16 laps on these tires.
Yeah. I say, but he can't afford Jay Potty to hold him up for much longer. Oh, he goes
No,
a little
because
wide. He goes a little wide, and he loses a bit of time there. He manages to make it up without much trouble.
You can definitely see the grip levels coming out of the corner, the final corner. There's definitely more grip on
Yeah.
the super soft.
A lot closer than the previous lap.
He's
But
not going to
again,
go for
he
it.
decides not to go for it.
He's going to let it be. Let's see what happens. Going out a bit wide. He's going to try and cut in on the inside. Oh,
And he's going to go.
this
Nope.
is so close.
This is a great battle between them, though.
Potty's making his car as wide as possible. If Whistler can just get close in this section, he might be able to get it in the DRS zone. It's just showing Potty that he's still there. It looks like Whistler is just taking a small breather.
I think that could be a strategy move there to try and save the tyres.
It's a possibility. Kill switch with a 3-second penalty.
Another time penalty. Yeah, if he gets any more than those, he risks getting disqualified from the race altogether.
Okay, Whistler is coming for it.
He's going to go for it this
He's
time.
on the inside. He's on the inside.
He's on the inside, but he brakes way too early, and Potty still keeps 6th place.
This is a very good battle. And we've got yellow flags in sector 3.
And that's it's for Winterish. It's for Winterish.
Oh, I see.
Top
Top
Villain
Willem is in the lead now. Winterish, he lost his front wing. He's in the pits.
Oh my
He lost his
goodness.
front wing.
And Winterish, another 5-second stop door penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh, this is working very nicely.
This is working to Raikko's advantage.
And Raikko just went into second with McLaren.
And he's right behind Willem. He's right behind top Willem.
Willem is losing a lot of time.
Why is that? Why
Willem
is he
is
losing a lot of
slow.
time?
Willem is slow.
And Raikko is on the soft tyres, Willem is on the super softs. You'd think Willem would be faster, but apparently that's not the case.
This is working perfectly into Raikko's advantage. Okay, but it looks like Top Willem is speeding up again. He might have just had an off in the first corner that we might have missed.
Yeah, but you've got McLaren Freak right behind Raikko.
And in that carnage, Whistler managed to get past Potty and is going for Winterish.
Yeah,
Well, if he can
Winterish
stick with those 5-second penalties, well, it's a 10-second penalty now. So if Whistler
what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to look back at the incidents screen to see how big a penalty the drivers have. Like Whistler has, let's see, six, 9, 12, 14, 17.
I just quickly had a look at that screen, and there is a lot of warnings and penalties.
Yeah, that's it. But I think, as far as Raikko is concerned, he may be lucky and not have too much to worry about.
Oh, that will be good for him. Well, it will be good to know if Top Willem has got any penalties awaiting him.
Yeah. I mean, Raikko's only got.
Almost took out Raikko. That was so close.
Yeah, I say, but Raikko's only got 3 seconds worth of penalties. So, worst case scenario, he may still. Worst case scenario, he still finishes on the podium.
That would be good for him.
But
Albert is 7 seconds behind them now.
Yeah, which means
And
even with
Raikko's
the
3.5
penalties,
seconds.
which means even with the penalties, Raikko will still finish on the podium.
Yes. And then we've got Winterslova putting on the fastest lap now.
I mean, amazingly, Top Villain doesn't have any time penalties.
Because that is very good to know.
And Winterish just set the fastest lap of the race so far.
24.3.
Yep.
And we've got another yellow flag in Sector 3.
Yeah, somebody would have obviously got. Oh, it would have been Willem. Willem would have gone off.
Or it might have been one of the back markers. The Top Willem just put on the fastest lap. 124.3.
What was about that?
This is some interesting racing we've seen here.
Yeah. And McLaren Freak doesn't have any time penalties either. So what Raikko's going to need to
Alberts
do
has got a
essentially...
3-second penalty.
Yeah. So in Raikko's case, he's going to need to try and get
I think it was Whistler that went off in the final sector. I'm seeing him coming into the pits for a new wing.
another front wing change. It's just not been his day at all.
Yep, he's coming out in 8th position now, just in front of Kill Switch. So that worked out nice for him, but now he's on the ultra soft. It will be interesting to see if he can catch up to Bearded Llama, that is 13 seconds ahead of him.
Yeah. But it's unlikely that Dandadu is going to make any progress as far as where he is at the moment, because he is a lap down on everybody at the moment.
And he's still making a point. He's in 10th position, even though he's a lap down.
Yeah. Well, he's
Just to let
guaranteed
everyone
points.
know, just by competing and not even being fast, he just enjoys driving, and he's still going to have points with all the guys that unfortunately was caught in incidents.
Yeah.
Well, Top Willem definitely, he had an issue for a lap or two, but he's back on it now. He's got a 6-second lead over Raikkonen now. But as things stand now, Raikkonen is going to finish 3rd, with McLaren Freak in 2nd, depending on Top Willem's penalties. And Bearded Llama just got a 3-second penalty.
There's been a lot of penalties for the drivers today.
It's the rush of blood for the first race of the series.
Yeah. I mean, from a fan's perspective, there's nothing more exciting than the first race of the season.
Well, that is so true. You never know what's going to happen in the first corner.
Yeah. And like I said at the start of the race, the 2002 race is a perfect example of anything can happen on the opening lap of the season.
That is so true. And you can even say at any race, anything can happen in the first lap. I think a race that everyone will be looking forward to is the Spa race through Eau Rouge to see if the guys can manage.
Through Eau Rouge, Ravion, Blanchimont.
Well, even the first corner,
just that sequence,
that's going to be...
Yeah, the La Source hairpin, yeah. I mean, and of course, Of course, the Belgian Grand Prix back in 1998, one of the most famous race start crashes I'd ever seen. Just
that was the one with
rain.
12 guys being taken out of the race, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and the race had to be red flagged, and Michael Schumacher and David Coulthard almost coming to blows, and Damon Hill getting a famous win for the Jordan team.
That is true. That was a very strange race that day.
Yeah.
I can see McLaren Freak is backing down now. I'm not
That's
sure if he's
interesting.
getting...
That
he's done the same amount of laps as Raikkonen on the
could
tyres.
that be something? I was about to say, could that be something to do with his tyres? Because he stopped on the same lap as Raikkonen.
Yes.
So I think it's all down to who.
We did see McLaren.
I think it's all down to who
having
manages their tyres better at the end of the day.
In the first stint as well, we did see McLaren having a bit of issues towards the end of the stint with managing his tyres. So it might be the case that Raikkonen is just managing the tyres a lot better than McLaren.
Yeah. Let's see. Now, if that's the case, if Raikkonen can get that gap to higher than 3 seconds, he may still be able to keep second place on the podium.
That would be good for him.
I mean, with how big the gap is between him and Albert's in fourth, Alberts has got time penalties. We've got to keep that in mind. Raikkonen's guaranteed to finish on the podium unless he gets more penalties.
Yes. And talking about Whistler is catching up to Bearded Llama. He's only 3 seconds behind him.
I'm just looking at on the screen right now. He's definitely closing the gap.
Yeah, it's down to 2.7 now.
He is. Well, he sounds like Whistler's a man on a mission at this point.
And Winterslova and Alberts is on the main straight together.
And Jay Potty just got a time penalty.
Yeah, 3 seconds. And Winterish is going to go past Alberts for fourth
there
now.
There we go.
But remember, Winterish has got some
Winterish has penalties as well.
Yes.
As in the crucial thing in Raikkonen's case is that Raikkonen doesn't have as many penalties as those behind him.
Which is a good thing for him.
Yeah, I'll say there's 4 laps to go, 3 after this. Raikkonen's starting to increase that gap over McLaren. He's 1.5 seconds up.
Winterish is 10 seconds behind them.
Yeah. So McLaren.
Well, the next man on the move
now
is Whistler. Whistler is 1 second behind Bearded Llama.
Well, let's join in on that battle. There's a yellow flag at sector 1. No idea
That's
what
where
that
the
could be
leaders were a couple of seconds ago. It looks still good and doesn't look like anyone has lost some time there. Let's see if Whistler can get past Bearded Llama.
Doesn't look like he's going to get past on this occasion. It's Winterish. It looks like he's starting to come. And there we go. There's another time penalty for Raikkonen. That's the sort of thing he can really do without right now.
Exactly. Let's see. Okay, Whistler is coming on the inside of Bearded Llama, and is he going to break a bit later?
Look easy.
Yeah,
there we go. He makes it look easy.
That's a very
straight
good
into 7th place. We've got 2 laps to go after this.
It's an eventful race today.
And McLaren Freaks still not able to get close enough to Raikkonen.
And Winterish is catching at an alarming rate. Looks like almost 2 seconds a lap that he's catching on them.
As he's 8.5 to 8.3 now. He's definitely closing in, which puts Raikkonen's chances of getting a podium in jeopardy because of his second time penalty of the day.
Well, Winterish has also got a couple of time penalties, so it's going to be very interesting to see after all the penalties have been given out, who's going to be in what position.
Yeah, that's it. McLaren Freak and Top Willem are the only two drivers, to my knowledge anyway, that don't actually have any time penalties to their name at the moment.
And that's going to leave them first and second.
Essentially, yes.
But I think there's going to be a lot of upset guys that wasn't able to finish.
Winterish 7.5 seconds behind McLaren Freak now. 2 laps to go.
Up a second in the last sector, basically.
I mean, that's huge. And McLaren almost losing control of the car there. This is absolutely incredible stuff. It was 6.8 seconds now. Winterish, it doesn't look like he's going to get. It doesn't look like he's going to get the. It doesn't look like he's going to get past McLaren outright, but the time penalties.
With McLaren not having any penalties, it will definitely be good for McLaren to finish second.
Yeah. But here we go, on to the final lap now.
Well, Raikou has made up 15 places from where he started.
Yeah. And that will no doubt go down to either 14 or even 13 because Winterish is still closing in. It'll go down to 14 definitely. But I think without a doubt, because of how well he has done today, without a doubt, Raikou driver of the day for me, without a doubt.
Yes, for sure, driver of the day. Well, Top Willem is on his last lap now.
Yeah, he's coming through the final sequence of corners now. A great start from him. He started
in fourth.
Started in fourth.
Yeah, fourth. You're right.
And that means now he comes across the line. Top Willem wins the Australian Grand Prix.
Oh, what a
Great
drive
start
from him.
to
That
the
was
season
good.
for him.
Yeah, and Raikou is going to come over the line now. Albert with another 3-second penalty. Winterish over the line. Oh, what
and there we go.
McLaren?
And Winterish, because of his penalties, Raikou keeps second place.
And McLaren Freak, what happened with McLaren Freak? He went from third to fourth.
Unbelievable. I mean, Raikou amazingly keeps second place.
That is fantastic. So the two guys with no penalties is the two guys that's finishing first and second. We've got Jay Potty coming over the line in sixth. Whistler not too far behind him in seventh. And then Bearded Llama in eighth. Oh, Whistler dropped down to eighth due to penalties. Kill switch coming through to the last corner. And Danadu already finished. So it's only kill switch that needs to finish.
There we go. And whoa! There's a setup! What the corner? He lost on the final corner!
What did
he lost on the final corner!
This is some
he was
strange
yards away from
stuff
the finish line!
Seen. Holy crap!
Now I've seen it all!
I've never seen anyone trying to throw a donut or a handbrake turn over the finish line in Formula 1. This guy tried it and he failed.
That's what you get for showboating.
Yeah. We've got a saying in Afrikaans, slim van sy baas, which quickly translates to smart guy sees their asses very quickly. That was so good. That was very good racing. Just to go through the
A great race for the opening race of the season.
No, we've seen some good drama.
And it
as
turned
well.
out Winterish had 8 seconds worth of penalties.
Yeah, that's very bad for him. And McLaren Freeze
And
just missed out on the podium. I think if he had
but like
0.1 of a second
two
more.
hundredths of a second.
Yeah,
200,
that is
point
very
0.02.
close. I think he's going to
Yeah,
be pissed with
and-
himself because he definitely lost it on the final lap somewhere.
Yeah. And Whistler, the guy that has the most penalties of anybody today.
15
massive-
seconds worth.
15 seconds worth of penalties, yeah. And he did indeed serve those stop-go penalties as well.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. Wow, what an interesting race. This first race, if this is something that's going to set the stone for the next race, I think that is fantastic stuff.
Well, let's put it this way. One thing is for certain. It's the fact that for the first race of the season, it did not disappoint.
It definitely did not. We saw guys that didn't pull away on the formation lap. We've seen the crash on the first corner. We saw half of the guys being taken out in qualifying. This is
among other things.
This is just a stepping stone.
If this is a sign
series.
of things, if this is a sign of things to come for the league this season, then I think we're going to be in for a very interesting championship.
It's going to be very interesting. And this is only the first race. Points are still up for grabs. And
we've still got another 20 races to go.
It's going to be fantastic racing. For everyone that joined on the stream, thank you very much. We appreciate the support and have a lovely evening further.
Yeah, that's it. And it's been a pleasure joining you on the commentary for tonight.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you on the stream, Kenzie.
You're very welcome.
I'll definitely, if you're available again, anytime, join me and we can have a fantastic time again.
Thanks, you as well. And I'll see you guys again very soon.
Thanks, Kenzie. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Cheers.